Welcome, welcome, welcome to Living Wealthy, the Basics, Love, Romance, and Partnership. I can't believe it. This is session number 6, our finale, and part of me, I'm excited, another part of me is just a little saddened, just a little bit saddened that, and that's kind of the world of completion, when you actually complete something. And I'm just going to add this in before we start the seminar tonight. And if you don't know, I'm Ronnie B. with the Old Grumpy Radio Network. I get to work with the powerful, passionate, and lovely Prosperous Divas, and it definitely is an honor. But completing this is, for many of us, we have things that we stopped doing, but we didn't complete them. We just stopped doing. And there's a power to completion. So we're going to complete this webinar, this workshop, very, very powerfully. Now, before we kick off, we got a little something to help you get into the mood. Please enjoy.
Speak to me, tell me what you have in mind. I'm listening. Your melody, my soul, have no boundaries. No, you stimulate me, bring me peace, tranquility. When I close my eyes, I close. My fingertips are all I need to show you what I see when my eyes are closed. And nothing feels more naturally than to lose control when my eyes are closed. They're 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 closed. I see you the most. Can't help but lose control. They're closed. When my eyes are closed. Take me on a journey, quaint fantasy. I'm so secure. I'm yours to lead. Free me, yeah. Release me, oh yeah. Oh, my fingertips are all I need to show you what I see when my eyes are closed. And nothing feels more naturally than to lose control when my eyes are closed.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that selection. I rather like that selection. Tonight's workshop is Designing Love, Romance, and Partnership, Integrity, and Bold Requests. We're going to have a little inquiry discussion into integrity and bold requests. Partnership, the keys to success, the Divine Mind Prosperity Blaster. This is Living Wealthy session number 6. Over to Diva Nikki.
Hello.
We're turning it over to you, Diva Nikki. Go forward.
Sorry, I had got cut off. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Wealthy, the Basics, Love, Romance, and Partnership, the finale. I am Diva Nikki, joined tonight by Robin, and of course, we'll be hearing from Ronnie. We have been your course leaders for this past 6-part series. Now, If this is your first time participating in a Prosperous Divas webinar or workshop, welcome. We promise you will get value from tonight's session. And if you missed any of the previous sessions, please visit our website at prosperousdivas.com. Now, living wealthy, the basics, love, romance, and partnership is specifically designed for each participant to have a measurable and quantifiable breakthrough in their personal wealth from inquiring into these basics. The distinctions of love, romance, and partnerships form our core experience of relationships, which is at the heart or center of power and manifesting our deepest and most important desires. Before we start our inquiry, let me check in with the team and see what has opened up for them during the course. Robin, would you like to share anything?
I would, actually. Thank you for the opportunity. So something that has been opening up and really growing for me throughout the course is the generating of the experience of love, romance, and partnerships, especially with my husband, but also with the other important people in my life, like my friends. I have been present to the preciousness of now, of each moment, such that I'm not waiting until the circumstances are perfect or until those people meet all my expectations or I see a burning bush or I'm struck by lightning.
Wow.
To express my love and appreciation for the gift that they bring to my life and to life in general. And so everything is just turned into such a joy. And I know, it's just delightful. The permeating experience for me is gratitude. And in that space, everything, every experience is its own kind of gift. Rain has its wonder as well as sunshine. The cold weather we woke up with this morning is just as much fun as when it's warm and snuggly. So people's individual struggles and oddities are just as much to love and don't diminish each person's perfection. And that's not always been the case for me.
That's powerful. Yeah, I know, right? I love it.
Well, I'll share a little bit here. I won't be stingy.
You're never stingy.
One of the, and I guess where the right term for me is I'll become conflicted with my love for those people near and dear for me and partnership. And I noticed that that I have to keep giving up that I have to or should do something with people who are near and dear to me that I love, and let's say in partnership. You know, and that I do not have to do that. I can have partnership with them in areas I choose that we both, love, as into an obligation of some type of partnership I should have, given they're near and dear to me and I love them. So I guess that's a long way to say that I keep having to bring forth being present so that I can have freedom and peace with them and let them be who they be and let me be who I be.
Yeah,
so
right.
I really see it, and it's not. I had to keep doing it. It keeps coming up, and specifically my relationship with my mother and I'll say my siblings and their children. And I am not obligated to fulfill her desires for partnership with them in whatever manifestation. I'm not obligated to that. And I love them dearly, and there is partnership. I have a choice how that experience and how to be for me. And so I've had to really, really work it because, oh God, I just seen in another training, I've kind of shared my relationship with my mother and my sister, okay? But not to get all into that. But I'll say this, is that they love to have me be the middleman and not go directly to each other. And even after all the training, all the seminars I've led, workshops and stuff, I will get hooked. And unless I'm present, and I'll notice that I'll stop being present and I'll get hooked. And usually that's when I'm just not being responsible for the relationship. And so that's part of, like what I've been seeing is that, like I said, but it's really been a challenge because people are near and dear to me, but that just means they're near and dear to me. And to just be with that, look, you're near and dear to me. We do not have to take warm showers in the middle of the night.
Hey.
That is not a requirement. All right. Back to you, Diva Nikki.
And I will share really quickly as well. I can say that I have a combination of both what you shared, Robin, and you, Ronnie, in being in the spirit of gratitude and just accepting things and people as they are, and it being something that you do continuously. Continuously. Because every day in every situation, we are faced with one thing, and that is a choice. It's a choice to be or not be. It's a choice to do or not do. But the choice every day is our choice. And it may not be the same today or in this moment as what it was in previous moments, right? So we need those reminders. But whenever I am present to that and accountable with that, that's in my dating, that's in my relationship with my family, my mom, my siblings, my friends, new and old, and building. When I am present to that, then I'm able to have more of a spirit of gratitude in that moment and just be. And there is no pressure on anyone to be anything other than themselves and feel that love in just a being, and vice versa. But it is every day. So we're
I really love that y'all shared that, because people think that somehow or another, if it's not the Prosperous Divas seminars and webinars and workshop, it's some other program that they'll finally get fixed, and none of that stuff will be an issue. And not getting that you're not broken.
Right.
Yeah, who broke you in the first? You're not broken, and guess what? You have these issues that come up time and time again. You may need another course so you could go, God, you know what? I had stopped being present to that. You might.
Yeah, and I love what you said about obligation too, about not being obligated to fulfill anyone else's desires, and they're not, and they not being obligated to fill any of yours. And that is so true. That's true for each and every last single one of us. And that's whether we are in relationships, whether we're married, whether we're single. That's in our friendships. That's with work. That's with everything. Sometimes we have expectations that run well over, and they're false expectations, and then we feel let down. Okay. Well, thank you all for sharing. So let's get started.
Thank you.
Our first inquiry: designing love, romance, and partnership, integrity, and bold requests with none other than Diva Robin. Robin, take it over.
All right. Thank you so much. As Ronnie mentioned earlier, this is my favorite topic. So I'm delighted that I get to talk to you all about it. This is session 6, and we have covered a lot of ground in our thinking, experience of life, and owning our power to create. We've had some amazing inquiries, the listening that's already there, the occurring world, superstitions, persistent complaints, the Merlin principle. These were all very powerful conversations, and no doubt you have all created some amazing results because of them. Tonight, in our finale, we are going to distinguish the ultimate access for having breakthrough results in the areas of love, romance, and partnerships with velocity. Before we start, I'm going to read this passage to frame the context for the work we are doing. Integrity. Acting with integrity brings me peace. At times, I may hesitate to make decisions. I may struggle with choices about relationships and work-life balance, or I may worry if I'm spending my money wisely. Staying in touch with truth gives me confidence. Before I choose what to do, I listen to my inner guidance. I align my thoughts with what is upright, honest, and sincere. As I speak and act with integrity, I experience balance in my mind, body, and soul. Every aspect of my life aligns in peaceful harmony. Integrity is part of my true identity. I exhibit ease and grace when asked to make a decision. My health improves, my self-esteem increases, and I live courageously. Today, we are having an inquiry for integrity, and we are framing the context in a specific way that creates power, freedom, and ease. When we say integrity, what is already present in your listening? Are you present to right and wrong? Are you present to morality and ethics? Are you present to burden, shame, blame, or guilt? Are you present to what others should or should not be doing? What you should or shouldn't be doing? Take a minute and get present to whatever emotions, feelings, and thoughts you have when you hear the word integrity. Whatever you're present to is perfect. There is no right and wrong in this inquiry. All there is to notice what's happening for you. Now, we would like you to take a look at integrity through this new context or distinction. Consider, integrity is the state of being whole and complete, honoring one's word as oneself. I'm going to give that to you again. Integrity is the state of being whole and complete, honoring one's word as oneself. If you notice, there is no explicit or implicit blame, shame, or guilt when you look at integrity this way. There is no right or wrong, good or bad, fault or blame. So when you look at this distinction of integrity, what is present for you? As the team and I share what we are present to in this distinction, please look at what's present for you in looking at integrity as this distinction. Again, it is, integrity is the state of being whole and complete, honoring one's word as oneself. So, Nikki, do you have something to share about this with us?
Actually, yes. Before you gave the new distinction of integrity, as you were reading off different things, the first thing I became present to was responsibility.
Mm.
And I felt responsibility and morality. In that if you say something, I'll say me, in that if I say I'm going to do something or give my word on something and it's not kept, then I have dishonored myself, and I have not showed honor to the person or the thing that I gave that word, that commitment to, in that sense, to me, that is devaluing that person or that thing, and as well as myself. And to me, I hold that to be irresponsible. I hold that to be immoral. I hold that to be of a character that is not one of promise. And so, in that distinction being read from you, I came present to the exact same thing. Like that's really what it means for me, is being a whole in your word and holding your word as true to yourself.
Yes. Yeah. And I love what you just shared. In fact, it goes back to that part about staying in touch with truth gives me confidence. Before I choose what to do, I listen to my inner guidance. So what you just said, Nikki, really spoke to that. It really brought it forth in a personal way. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And Mr. Ronnie B., how about you?
One thing that I really love is that, and what I focused in on is integrity is the state of being. And so integrity is not an affliction that you have or don't have.
Yeah.
And that and I'll just say that the other part is that I really love what Nikki shared, because it illustrates the world of integrity that's actually distinct from the context that you gave. Now it's valid, okay, because and I get that, because there's moral integrity, that exists. There's moral integrity, but that's not the same as this context. But but that's the thing. But the main thing that came up was the state of being, and as they say, who you be is who you'll act and what you'll have. I'll put it like that.
Yeah. For me, when we look at integrity as this distinction, and it's something I've been dwelling in for a long time, it really transforms something that can be so like a constraint, like just full of, I think of, your parents and the finger being shaken in your face, when you don't do what you said or you do something wrong, and the sense of shame and the sense of blame and all of that really disappears when you look at integrity as this distinction. It transforms it into a source of power, freedom, and ease, and workability. So it takes all the punishment out of it, and as we all know, we all make mistakes. We all have times when we are unwilling or unable to keep our word, but that doesn't mean that we're bad people, because using this view of integrity, it's a tool even. You could say it's a tool for living powerfully rather than a moralistic view that makes us bad if we fall short.
We got you.
And in addition to that, workability may and often does align with the same kinds of issues as a spiritual or more moral view, and yet it's completely distinct. So the same things that you wouldn't do looking at it from a moral view, you wouldn't look at it from the point of view of doing what's true to yourself either. So just like I wouldn't use physical violence on someone because I was taught not to, and I grew up knowing that was a wrong thing to do, I wouldn't do it now as a matter of being true to who I am. So there's lots and lots of overlap. It's just that we're taking the sting out of it and looking at the power that's available in using our word as a place to be. So in terms of, and we're saying that integrity is being whole and complete, so I'm going to give a couple of analogies. So if you have ever had a bicycle, and most of us have, you know the wheel has spokes. And if any of those spokes are broken or out of alignment, the bike loses integrity and it doesn't work as designed. So you can kind of say we have spokes, and when our integrity is out, we don't work as designed. Similarly, a submarine can travel underwater for months at a time without sinking because it has structural integrity. And if that structural integrity is broken, then the submarine is going to fail to operate correctly. And again, it's the same way with us. When we are designing our futures from the future and creating SMRs, which are specific measurable results, the catalyst that creates velocity and fulfillment is integrity. So the first part of the distinction for integrity that we're using is the state of being whole and complete, like the submarine and the bicycle. And a whole and complete simply means missing no parts. When we operate from integrity, we are in a state of being whole and complete. If a bicycle or submarine is missing any parts, it's still a bicycle or a submarine, but it doesn't work the way it's designed to work, thus it loses power. And as you know, bicycles and submarines sometimes need repairs. And the repair is made and the power is returned. As human beings, when persistent complaints, superstitions, or the occurring world filter our view of reality, the effect is a loss of integrity. It costs us our power, freedom, and full self-expression. We simply are not as effective. So that's the first part. And the second part is honoring one's word as oneself. Your experience of life lives in your conversations. Your experience of yourself lives in your conversations for and about yourself. You experience life, ultimately, our conversations for and about ourselves, whether positive or negative, give us the degree to which we know ourselves as being our word. So I have some good news and some bad news. Are you ready? The bad, not like you have a choice. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Actually, we were actually hanging on every word. Oh no!
Oh no! Well, I'm gonna, and it's even worse because I'm going to start with the bad news.
Okay.
So the bad news is that your integrity is always going out, no matter how hard you try or how good you are. Inevitably, you will break a promise or not carry through on something you had said you would do or were supposed to do. Have you noticed how this goes? I'll bet you have. It is simply part of being human. But there's good news, too. The good news is that integrity can be restored, just like the spoke on the bicycle can be replaced. And restoring integrity is always available. And even better news, it's the source of breakthroughs. Most of us try to avoid integrity issues. And in fact, those pesky, persistent complaints, filters in our listening, and superstitions are part of the insidious mechanism designed to keep us from addressing those issues powerfully. We could say that those are distractions and avoidances. The universe acts on our words, and others around us act on our words, which gives us a lot of power. In fact, we always have that power, and it's just a question of whether we're actually using it consciously or not. So honoring our word goes beyond merely keeping our promises. It's how we are being when we fail to keep a promise and being responsible for the world we are creating with our words. So, imagine if you kept your word and every single one of your promises in all of the areas of love, romance, and partnership. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Well, maybe not. Because if that were the case, you would have stopped being a human being, you would have stopped being a human being and become a human doing, which would also have no integrity. And we're going to talk to you some more about that in a bit. When you make a promise and fail to keep your promise, the action needed is simply communication. Acknowledge not having kept the promise and make a new promise. Simple. When you make a promise and you realize you'll not be able to keep your promise sometime in the future, the action needed is to simply communicate. Communicate that you will not be keeping your word and make a new promise. Simple. When you make a promise and you realize you are not going to keep that promise at all, the action needed is to simply communicate, I am revoking the promise I made to you. It's all about communication. And for each one of these scenarios, there will be consequences. A little tip here. The sooner you communicate, the smaller the consequences. Honoring your word gives you power, freedom, and ease in dealing with the consequences. There is a powerful saying. This is also good news. The bigger the breakdown, the bigger the breakthrough. Yay! Like the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Breakdowns are the result of integrity issues that are not addressed. For example, when that little warning light comes on in your car and 3 weeks later your car stops running, that is a breakdown. And the cause of the breakdown was weeks before it happened when that little warning light came on. So there you are. the car stopped working, you have the breakdown. So you get your car fixed, and it runs even better than before. Or you decide it's time to get a new car. Breakthrough. When you make bold promises or requests, you will inevitably have breakdowns, and they will be the source of huge, unimaginable breakthroughs. The team and I are going to share what we hear so far in this inquiry. So who would like to start?
Oh,
me,
wow.
me.
Oh, go, ladies first.
Diva, Nikki.
Oh my goodness, you know what I heard in this was it's okay if I cannot keep my commitment on something, as long as I am willing to admit it and own it, and time enough before the commitment is actually broken, and being acceptant of the consequences, but still have power in knowing that I still gave honor to my word in stating that I could not. And that to me, means a lot, because I know firsthand and from others' experiences as well with me and in being shared that sometimes it just seems so much easier to just kind of let it just be swept under the rug, and hopefully nobody will mention it, and when you come around this event or these people again, you just kind of hope, even though deep down inside, even if someone says anything, deep down inside, you are faced with that broken commitment already.
Yep.
No one has to say anything. You just hope that they don't say anything so that you don't have to own up to the feeling that you're already feeling, right? Because it's uncomfortable. And there's no power in that. You feel it's a feeling, but that feeling is a reality because of that is what you're present to. And that is a feeling that is a feeling of being powerless.
Beautiful.
And no one likes that.
No way.
So in this way, no one likes that. So in this way, those things may not turn out, the consequences may not, or the rewards, I say, may not be as beautiful had you fulfilled the commitment, but that still gives you power and still gives you some form of respect and honor when you just own up to it ahead of time,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Oh, my God.
Great.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. And something that you said I want to underline, because what I could hear, and you didn't really, I just want to underline, is that it's not about, when you get that having an out integrity doesn't make you a bad person, then there's no dishonor or humiliation in telling the truth about it and acknowledging it. And that gives us an enormous amount of power. And one of my very favorite teachers ever said that the source of all suffering is out integrity. And he wasn't talking about out integrity when you clean it up. He was talking about out integrity when it's, as you put it, swept under the carpet.
Yep.
And I don't know about you, but I have direct personal experience of that.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Wow. That is awesome. I love what you were sharing, Nikki, and I'll put it like this: there are times when you say someone got it, you got that distinction, you really did, and that's really beautiful. Now, something that as we I work with the Divas to create our workflows for the different courses and workshops, and sometimes we have languaging, and it's like, why is that there? That's confusing. And the Divas will talk about it, and sometimes we go with it, sometimes we change it. But we kept something in, and The Divas are like, okay, is it confusing? And it's just imagine if you kept your word and all your promises in the areas of love, romance, and partnership. Wouldn't that just be wonderful? Wouldn't that just be peachy keen? Right. Now, we said probably not, because you would stop being and become a human doing, which would have no integrity. See, I can tell you how you will not break your promises. Nikki, you want to know how you'll never break your promises?
How?
Oh, okay. All right, okay. Robin, would you like to know how you never, ever break your promise?
I have a guess. May I make it?
Sure.
My guess is that if I only make promises that are easy and small and I know I can keep them. Like I can promise to take a shower each day.
Yes. You either make promise, and watch this. You'll break that promise because you won't take a shower one day.
Yeah.
So what people do is they just don't make promises.
Don't make them at all.
They just don't give their word. And when you don't get, as a human being, when you no longer have the power to give your word, you as a human being, you have stopped working because you have no power. You are simply doing life. So,
yeah.
Yep. So like I said, the Divas wanted a little clarity around that to make sure that you folks kind of got where we were coming from. I was in the camp of make you pay $300 to take our next course, and we'd explain it. Obviously, they won. I didn't. Now, obviously they won because I ended up explaining, and so back to you, Diva Robin.
Thank you for your generosity. So something else I also just want to share about integrity. We say that it just gives you an enormous amount of power and ease, and it's so true. And workability. I mean, life gets so clear and easy. It just gets so clear and easy when you simply pay attention to what you and others are saying and hold each other accountable. My friends have all learned about integrity in this way, or most of my friends, and we operate this way with each other, and it gives us a huge foundation for supporting each other. And my husband and I, we really do operate our relationship from giving our word and making requests and promises to each other, and I say that we have a life that we wouldn't have if it weren't for that. Like when we say we're going to take a vacation, we take a vacation. When we say we're going to have a conversation about what's working and what's not working in our relationship, we do that. When we say we're going to sit down and look at our finances, we sit down and look at our finances. And when we don't, we acknowledge it and make new promises, just like what we've been talking about today. And it makes some people think that sounds cold or it sounds a bit too businesslike, but I'll tell you what, it just provides. It's not like that at all. It's just
so
simple clarity.
It's so unromantic.
Yeah, it actually gives us the we're so complete with each other that it gives us the space for real romance in our relationship, because we don't have all this stuff in the background that we've lied about or that we haven't acknowledged.
Wow.
Yeah, it's good,
that. Huh? I love that. One final point, because I know you got to move us on, and it's the part where you said that bold promise. When you make bold promises or requests, you will inevitably have breakdowns, and they will be the source of huge, unimaginable breakthroughs.
Yep, I said that.
Most of us, Yep, Eva Robin said that. Most of us will not make a bold promise because we don't want to be held account if we fail.
Mhm.
And that stops us from actually building integrity. You know, it's like if I say, look, I'm a 90-pound weakling and I want to be Mr. Universe, but I'm not going to promise to go to the gym and exercise because I might not fulfill that.
Mhm.
You know, I cheat myself and I cheat the world. And we only grow by making bold promises that we fail.
Yeah.
You know, it's bold. But you know, what's that old saying? If you aim for the stars, you might miss and only make it to the moon. You know?
That's
you know,
a great saying.
That's the power with a bold. And then the other part is that we won't make bold requests because if we feel that we don't have enough integrity, how can we ask someone for something big?
Right.
So it limits us being open to receive. See, some of us are very good about making promises that we will keep. You know, we'll be a demand on ourselves. But to actually have the power to make a bold request to somebody else, to say, hey, look, you know what? I don't know your company from Jack, but I think y'all should put $100,000 into what we're doing. Oh, you want to have evidence, everything lined up because you want to prove integrity. Now, when you're being in the state of integrity, you will make that bold request and let the chips fall where they may.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. That's fabulous. And I know we have to move on, but I also want to say that sometimes I don't make bold requests, because I don't want somebody to tell me no. But the truth is that when I do it, a lot of times people do say yes, or they may do a counteroffer where they're going to say, well, I'm not going to do that, but I will do this, and that wouldn't have happened had I not made the request. Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot for the star, you might land on the moon.
Exactly. I love that. So integrity can be limiting. Integrity can be liberating rather than limiting. And learning how to operate with integrity makes things work and give you power. We will continue. We are going to take a break, and we will continue the conversation on the other side of the break with Partnership Keys to Success with Diva Nikki. The time right now is 5:50. Please return in 6 minutes, Ronnie?
Yep.
6? At 5:56.
Love is always willing. There's something in you important enough to get you moving. Something in your life matters so much it will persistently push you into action. Find that something. Connect yourself to it and stay connected. It could be another person, a dream you have, something you want to achieve, some particular value you hold dear. It could be a feeling you like to have. Whatever it is, bring it to the front of your awareness. Keep it there and tap into its inexhaustible, motivating energy. You have a reason to bear any burden, to work through any challenge, to find your way forward no matter what. Think of what you're more thankful for than anything else, of what you care about more than life itself. Whatever you love, without condition, will push you ahead through any condition. Love is always willing.
All right, I see that some of you are returning from the break. We'll be starting back up in just a minute or two here. And the next session, I'm just going to say that I can't wait to hear what Diva Nikki has for us on this segment. I have been waiting for 2 weeks, and I know it's going to be good. And I'm just building it up. That way, I want your expectations to be really up there for this part, you know. And, okay, we still got about 30 seconds before we start. But I do want to say that we don't have Diva Nakia with us tonight. She is on assignment, and I really hate that. I don't hate that she's on assignment because she's doing some wonderful work. But we really hate that she's not here for the session because she's just been such a pleasure to work with. But we'll be able. She did send us material. Diva Nikki, are we ready to turn the mic over to you?
Heck no, don't you turn no mic over to me. Of course you are.
Really, Diva.
Welcome back. Okay, this is the partnership, the key to success. In our previous sessions, we laid the groundwork for creating a new or current world for partnership. We introduced the Divas partnership model for wealth building. We introduced the first key, creating a hook to ride with the wealthy sponsor. And tonight, we're giving you the second key, repetition, and patience. So, you have created your hooks. You have identified several organizations whose missions aligns with yours. You have intelligently created emails, marketing letters, content, and started sending them out. For some, And you started getting results almost immediately. For others, it seems like nothing is happening, and maybe this doesn't work. Well, we have some good news. Whether the results are tumbling down like floodwaters or you don't even see a drip. Before we go over the second key, we have a little something to provide of context. The world sometimes can make you feel like a fool for caring so much. But the world at those times is sending a false signal, for caring is at the heart of who you are. So let yourself care and act in the service of all you are caring about. Keep your life aimed at what is good, what is right, what you know is best. And every day you add new substance to life, to all of life. Make it the kind of substance that truly makes life good. If you think you're failing, think again. You're getting closer and closer to the breakthrough you deserve and having the partnerships and sponsors that are right for you. Thomas Edison said about inventing the light bulb, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. You are succeeding, and it will require repetition and patience. If the organizations you have contacted have not responded to your content, don't doubt what you have created. Keep sending it until they tell you to stop. You can modify the content and add to it, but do not, I repeat, do not stop sending it to them. If you send a couple of campaign letters to them each week, start sending one every day until when they tell you to stop. If you have been focusing on 1, 2, or 3 organizations, add 3 additional organizations and modify your content to match and keep sending your emails or marketing letters to all of them until they tell you to stop. The team and I are going to share what is present for us in this conversation. Ronnie B.
Don't stop. I'm president. Don't stop. If they don't tell you, don't stop. And I'm president of that part. But actually, I'm president to some training I had years ago. And I'm hoping I can recreate this, the way that it was given to me. And it was, at the time, it was an introductory leader is the victory of yes after the final no. And so, in other words, you will hear no, 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 no. And there's a point where there's the final no, and you get yes. And most of us, we quit way before then. Well, they said no. But see, some of you have had children or been around children or may have children and all of that. Have you ever noticed that, when they were younger, they're still doing, but when they were younger, your little cute child comes up to you, Mommy, Daddy, may I have a cookie? Now, the little loving little person there has probably had like more cookies than they should have, or right now you're trying to be good and parent and make sure they eat right, so you're like, no, you had a cookie earlier. No, you can't have a cookie. Okay, and they go and they play, and then they come back. May I have a cookie? And you're like, no, you can't have a cookie. Okay, all right, okay, bye. Then they go and they play, but then they come back and they go, may I have a cookie? Now there's a point where there's a good chance you're gonna give them that cookie. You either, even if it's just that, you didn't ask me, so I'm gonna give you this cookie so that you leave me alone. You're gonna give them that cookie. See, many of us have lost that childlike power to let it go
Wow.
and ask again. We've lost that. They said no. Okay. Oh yeah, they said so, but was that the final no? And some of us, we don't even get started because we know they're going to say no.
Finally.
We know they're going to say no. I'm not going to even bother approaching their company because I already know that they're going to say no. So we don't even make the effort, let alone let them say no. And then, because you learn from no. You get power from no. You experiment and you play and you go, well, wait just a minute. They say no. Well, what about this? But see, most of us get stopped right away. And I just want to share this from around Old Grumpy Radio Network. Early in our years, we were developing radio shows, programs. I mean, we had all sorts of different types of shows. And because we were learning and we were trying to see which ones would work and how do we, Old Grumpy Radio is about prosperity and a world of peace, and prosperity. That's the whole mission. And we wanted programming that, while it fit with that mission, was unique, entertaining. And we had a show that was a comedy sports show. And it was really great how we had it set up. And I said, wow, you know what? We should contact, one of the major sports teams. And in this case, it was the Minnesota Vikings, the NFL Minnesota Vikings. I said, we should contact them and see if we could have them, if they'll allow either players or people in the administration, to sometimes be guests on the show. Now, part of it was the Minnesota Vikings were playing like crap. They were bad, they were worse than the Bears at that time, and I'm a Bear fan. They were bad, legitimately. So it was like, look, y'all need a little press. And so I love it. So the guy who was the host of the show, I said, okay, well, let's do this, and let's contact them and stuff. And the guy was like, I don't get that they're going to we haven't built our audience up. We're still, we still sound rude and crude. And I was like, well, man, hey, that's how it is, on the internet now. I mean, I'm listening to shows and stuff, and I go, hey, we're doing better than them. And so he wouldn't contact them. Well, I did. I called up the Minnesota Vikings. I said, hey, I want to speak with somebody, that would, maybe we could have this. The little answering lady person said, okay, let me get you over to the public relations guy. And the public relations guy was like, wow. He said, yeah, we'd love to do that. And I said, well, hey, we record on this day, and, maybe 15 minutes. And, of course, you can plug the Vikings and all of that, but it would be great for us. And we're, oh, man, I really love that. I want y'all to get back to us. We can get that scheduled. You hit the perfect time. This is the off season. Because he said, look, ain't nothing happening during the regular season. But he said, this is off season. I can get that taken care of for you. Now, I'm excited. I'm jumping up and down for joy. Wow, okay, wow, we actually got a NFL team, NFL, who's going to allow us to have guests from their team to be on our show. And we're just this little internet radio network trying to do something, And I tell the host, and he refused to contact him again. And I was like, wow. Now, weeks went by, and there's an old saying, strike when the iron is hot. I made the mistake of, because the host was saying, wait, I stopped. And you know what happens when you stop?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't even want to hear it.
Yes. Well, I'll put it like this. Never could get back in communication with that guy again.
Of
Never
course.
again. Never
Yeah.
again. You know. And but I'll say that now I wasn't just to own it. You know, now I learned my lesson. I am way more responsible. That you know what now, Mr. Host, if you're not gonna do that, let me set it up for another show. Then, you know that's part of that. People who I love, who are near and dear to me, may not be the right person for certain partnerships. He wasn't the right person for that partnership because he was limiting how it should go, and I'm working with what's possible. But that's like I said, don't stop. Do not, Diva Nikki. If there's anything, don't stop. And I like to say, like you said, don't stop until they tell you to stop. You can also say, don't stop until they say yes.
That's right. I love that one even better. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Don't stop until they say yes. And if they haven't said anything, then that means they have not said no. And if you haven't said no, in my world, you're a yes. We just need you to we just need to have you utter the words. You are yes, ready to happen.
I can dig it.
That's all I have.
Robin, would you like to share anything?
Kind of. Just what I got from it. I mean, I absolutely love what you just shared, Ronnie B. Love it, love it, love it. And it was, the thing about it is, so many of us are, I think, afraid to persist because we're afraid that people will get angry with us, or that that we shouldn't approach people, and because they're not going to like it. And I spent several years where I had a career as an executive recruiter, and I was on the phone calling people I didn't know day in and day out. And what I learned is that if you know that what you're offering is a service and you're being true to yourself, there's no reason not to persist. And what I took on when I was doing that kind of work myself was that every time I talked to someone, whether they were interested in what I was offering or not, I would brighten their day. So that even though I might have been an interruption, I would have been an interruption they were happy to have had. And then there were the few people, whatever percentage, that when I called them, it was exactly what they had been hoping for or praying for. Like, I cannot believe you called me. So there's real validity in this. It's not just theory. It really works.
Wow. Okay, I have to agree with both of you all. And Ronnie, I love what you said when you said that we have lost that childlike state of being with ourselves where we just continue to ask, or we just be persistent. Somewhere along the way, we lost that, or we lost hope in that. But it's that kind of persistence that will get us a result, and ultimately the results that we're looking for, even if it's just a learning experience. So I completely love that. Thank you all for sharing, and I know that I am taking on don't stop. So in our final segment, I am filling in for Diva Nakia with the Divine Mind Prosperity Blaster and a wrap-up of the Divas context for love, romance, and partnership. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. The time is now 6:12. Please return at 6:17 for your prosperity break.
Not the problem. The solution will not be found by continuing to rehash the problem. step back, let go, and point your focus toward the desired outcome. The problem is just something that blocks your path at the moment. What matters more is where the path leads and why. You are an outstanding problem solver. To tap into that power, your problem solving must have a meaningful purpose and a clear context. If you confine your thinking, your energy to the problem itself, that limits your options. Instead, bring the full richness of your life to bear on making positive progress. Though problems impede you, they do not have to overwhelm you. For you are more powerful, more versatile and dynamic, more purposeful than any problem. Give awareness, gratitude, effort, energy, and time to the 99% of your life that is not the problem. There you will find the wherewithal to move forward.
Here I'm sitting by my window, looking at a distant light. All my thoughts are so compelling. Some of them I'll try and write. I can recite on and on the reasons why we fight. Still the truth remains unaltered. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Keep on looking for the answers. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Keep on looking for the answers. Don't wanna be alone tonight. I've been down a rocky road, and I've lived a double life. I can tell right from wrong. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Some days I feel so alone. Other days I get so high. But tonight I just feel quite lonely. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Keep on looking for the answers. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Keep on looking for the answers. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Keep on looking for the answers. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Keep on looking for the answers. Don't wanna be alone tonight. Keep on looking for the answers. Don't wanna be alone tonight.
And
Okay,
welcome.
I hope you enjoyed that selection. And it is time for the Dynamic Mind Prosperity Blaster. I see that Diva Nikki is chomping at the bit. Over to you.
I am ready to go. Woohoo! Okay. So welcome back, and we do have our great divine mind and prosperity blaster for you this week. Transformation. Again, I am Diva Nikki, filling in for Diva Nikia. I am transforming into a brilliant expression of God's love. Arthur Anai Nin wrote, "And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." These words inspire me to grow beyond my current life situation. I am not defined by my past. I transform any limited beliefs about myself into an awareness of my divine potential. In a period of meditation, I imagine myself like the bud bursting forth through the soil. My divine potential unfolds like brilliant petals. I envision myself transformed into that which I was created to be, a brilliant expression of God's love here on earth. With divine guidance, I'll allow my beauty to shine. I hope you like those words. Let's do a review of the Divas context for love, romance, and partnership. Divas context for love. Love is a conversation. The degree we have conversations for love is the degree we experience love in our lives. We experience love from conversations we chose to generate for having love, experience, and express. Love is always available if we choose to generate loving conversations. Divas context for romance. Romance is a conversation. The degree we have conversations for romance is the degree we experience romance in our lives. We experience romance from conversations we chose to generate for having romance, experience, and express in our lives. Romance is always available if we choose to generate romantic conversations. Divas context for partnerships. The state of being in a conversation for prosperity that naturally attracts the right people for the manifestation of one's desires and the fulfillment of possibilities, mutually beneficial for everyone involved. We trust you have gotten value from this series, and the team has some final words to share. Ronnie B.
Well, one thing I'd like to thank Diva Nakia for who could not be here tonight because she's on assignment, and no, she's not in Washington covering the journalist party from last night, but she is training several people today, so she has to one-on-one train those folks, and we know it is a treat for them. The other thing is that, I really love the Divas context for love, romance, and partnership. And the main thing is that you live through your conversations. You experience life through your conversations. And we all have the power to create, because we have the power to create conversations that we choose. No conversations for love, no experience. No conversation for romance, no experience of romance. No conversation for partnership does not exist in your experience. And in your life, in our lives, guess who the most important person is? No, it isn't. It is not the spouse. It's not your mom. It is always you. we are always the center of our world. And that is not selfish. That is not wrong. That is just how it is. We were literally born that way. And that is not something that we will be changing. The power is that in the face of us being the center of our world, we own it. So that we're creating the world we truly want to experience. So, I just want to thank Diva Robin for jumping in and joining the Prosperous Divas and co-leading this workshop. Her presence has been amazing. Her delivery has just been point on. And Diva Nikki, I just want to thank you. You have owned Prosperous Divas as your own. And that is just so inspiring. And your sharing is authentic, it's deep, and it's fun. And, when you get things, we all get it. And that has just been so great. So
yeah,
great. And,
really true.
And now this is the finale, so we're actually completing. And I said earlier that for many of us, we have never completed anything. Or the last time we completed something was elementary school, high school, or college. But since then, we haven't completed anything unless someone virtually put a gun to our head, or it was like a job requirement where you have to go and take this particular course. Well, I'll say you may have finished a lot of things, but you didn't actually complete it. And you finished. We finished a lot of things, but we haven't actually completed. And so tonight we are completing the webinar series. We're actually completing Living Wealthy, the basics, love, romance, and partnership. This is complete, and that's what I have to say. So this is the completion, and I have all the emotions. I'm like, I'm gonna miss the Divas. What am I gonna do without them? Oh my God!
That's how I feel.
What am I?
We'll be back.
I'll be talking to the cats. Oh no! And the one that bites my toe. But one way it's kind of like, oh wow, and then the other way is really exciting. But I want to thank you because the work we've all done together has transformed the Old Grumpy Radio Network, Prosperous Divas, and it has opened up huge possibilities for the manifestation of wealth, prosperity, and a lifestyle that makes a difference. Okay, that's what I'm sharing.
Gosh, I hate to come after you, but I really do want to say what there is to say so that I can complete this instead of just finishing it. And first of all, thank you so much for inviting me to be a diva with you. And it has been a rich and rewarding experience. Actually, it has definitely exceeded my expectations in terms of not only the fun, but the results in my own life and the opportunity to share this with people. Also, I'm really, really present to love among us, to romance in terms of supporting each other on our own romances, and partnership with the Divas and you, Ronnie B. And so really all I really want to say is thank you.
Oh.
She's so sweet.
Oh. We coming off.
She loves us.
We got that written down.
I do. I love you.
We love you back.
Glad you got that.
Yeah. Oh. We love you back.
Yes, I do. I love y'all too now.
Well, this has definitely been another wonderful session and workshop series, one that hits different areas of our lives. And as we close out this series, I just want to say that for myself, one of the things that's very important is to be present to gratitude, being present to letting other people just be and things just be, not trying to force anything, rock the boat by being persistent but not pushy, and don't stop. So, yay!
Yeah. And Ronnie, thank you for your persistence and for creating this whole thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Nikki.
That's okay. Robin, you have been a wonderful addition.
This is called having it be complete.
Robin, you have been a wonderful addition, and I'm just so grateful that we've had you for this series and look forward to the next series coming up in May, which brings me to this. Our next workshop starts in May. Check our website for registration and details off Facebook, Prosperous Divas. Hint, hint, hint. Our next workshop promises you will have access to creating results with velocity and ease. You can learn about my services, Diva Nikki, Business Solutions, at www.bizsolutions.com. You can visit Diva Nikki at theappointedtimeforyou.com and join her movement. Diva Robin, how should they learn more about you and all of your endeavors? Diva Robin?
Yes, I can be reached by email at robin@robinjameson.com, and among my endeavors is that I'm an artist, and I have a website that's robinjameson.com. So I do one-on-one coaching, I do business consulting, I write copy for people, and I'm an artist. So Robin@robinjameson.com or just www.robinjameson.com if you want to see my work.
That is awesome.
A Renaissance woman.
Yes, so that would make her a prosperous diva like the rest of us.
Yay!
Okay, so please enjoy the poetry from Shiny the Poet, the original Sunshine Princess of Poetry.
Over the years, I realized I wanted to love you forever. And as time passed by, you remain my lifeline. So tonight I promise you my life, you my husband, I your wife. Baby, no more lost time. I want to love you forever. And I stand at destiny's gate waiting to say I do to my soulmate. I knew that as long as it took, I'd wait. But that wait is almost over. And I promise to be all that I am because you are all that I need. I want you to know that when I'm with you, my soul sings, my mind is at peace. When you're away, my heart just grieves. You are everything that I am not. So if you didn't know, allow me to tell you right now that you complete me. And I want to grow old with you. When you're hurt, I want to console you. Be the one to always hold you because you are the sunshine that quietly brightens my day. You are the moonlight that puts me to sleep so restfully at night. Together we can handle any battle. You know that I'm right. See, you made all the difference in my life. And I finally realized that I don't want to live my life without you. Forever is a long time. I see visions of our grandchildren smile, everlasting in our kiss, and our hugs tell me that this is it. So when we say I do, I know that this was meant. I can't give you the world, but I promise to move heaven and earth to put you first because you are more than worth it. You are the roots to my tree. You are all that I need, and I want to love you forever. If you'll just let me and say I do.